Hello, everyone. I'm going to put myself on my talking page. Hello, hello, hello. So we're. Ooh, hey, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. You guys can't see that anymore anyway. Awesome. What the frick? Hello. You did just lose the music. I do apologize. I'll have it back in just a minute. I'm currently trying to fix something. I don't know why things are not the same as they should be. Okay, so. Yep. There we go. I think it's this one. Yes, it's this one. Okay. We just had to fix a couple things before I get in. I don't know why they're not working the way they should. That's why. We don't need an offline interval. Save. Save. That works. Just fixing some things. Save. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so that's all fixed up. We are all good. Now I can go back to having music and such for just a moment. We're gonna load our game up. Get to gaming. I do apologize. I have done everything I can to try to make it so that this plays music while I am off of it, and it doesn't want to. Also, today's stream snack is my breakfast, which happens to be chicken ramen with egg yolk. I am one of those weird people who puts egg yolk in my ramen. I will not apologize for it. It makes it like mildly creamy without making it like literally creamy, because no offense, cream and salt just don't go together. So, eating with chopsticks in my adorable Pikachu bowl. I am weird. I prefer chopsticks. As it says, we went on Onderon. We had just arrived before. Why is that so loud? Okay. We had just arrived before we left, and I said that I wanted to do some leveling up of Visas because she's level 10. Mandalore's level 5, so we gotta work on that. I am not even gonna try with Mandalore. Supposedly it's possible to make this man into a Jedi. I have never managed it once. I've seen it done, but I'm not even gonna try with him, so we are gonna level him up as well. Vsauce is pretty one note, but that's okay. Let's add choke. Why not? Okay, I gotta put this down. There we go. Alright, so we have added choke to Vsauce. One moment. That's my son's school. I apologize for that. My son is doing the Special Olympics today, and even though I sent a thick pack of paper that had everything they needed, the school apparently decided to completely ignore it and had to call me for verification on certain requirements, like insurance and stuff. I love it when, you know, you send everything, you send them all the paperwork, and they're still like, no. I'm leaning forward to eat, admittedly. I have my bowl on like a heating pad because I can't eat all of this at once. This is most of a pack of ramen, but I'm gonna manage a couple bites and then I'm gonna have to do it again. I forgot he's a strength character, which makes no sense to me. There we go. Now we finally have one. Feats. Is there close combat? Because of course there's a way to finesse melee weapons, which makes absolutely no sense. Because technically strength shouldn't help you when it comes to using a blaster. But I guess it might. Toughness at feet. Okay. We're gonna level him up 2 more times. I want him at 15 before we head anywhere. Skills, feats. Oh, I forgot I have to add it first. Okay. And now we will get into actually going into Onderon. Okay. However, I do need to get him because he is always in Mandalor's armor. He does not change. Combat sensor, weapon focus. We're gonna add 2 to his dexterity because we need it. We're gonna add. Do I really want to? I'm kind of tempted to add this because I like those infiltrator gloves for my own character. Although I guess I don't really need them. Skills package, health package. We're gonna add that. Power shield, even though they never actually do that. Let's take a look what he's so repeating blaster 2 to 12. 1 to 12, 1 to 10, unstoppable 1 to 10. 2 to 11, is that a two-handed? That is a two-handed, okay. Mandalorian heavy blaster. There we go, see, 2 weapons. Now, I am going to give him this because the moment I change his stuff around, I'm going to make sure that he is ranged, which just essentially means if someone comes at him and gets in his face, he will switch to those. He just won't start with them, essentially. So. Alright. Off we go into the wild blue yonder of Onderon. We finally got here. It only took hours.
It's been a while since you've docked here, eh? I suppose the lockdown has hurt your profits as well. Oh, it must be hard to shuttle people when nobody's allowed to leave. The blockade has been bad for everyone.
There's a lockdown?
Your manifest says it's been 2 months since you last came here. It's become much worse since you last came. Military checkpoints are everywhere.
It has been way more than 2 months. Any news on it?
Our space forces have been in full readiness ever since the space battle in orbit. Tensions are running high. All Republic vessels must be searched, and the delays are turning pilots grey before their time. And ever since the Republic fired on our space forces, things have been even slower. Bad days. And things are getting worse. I'd get out of the system quickly.
Notice how they're saying that the Republic fired first.
You have any any trade goods, so the inspection's just a formality.
I really...
Starport visa, don't lose it. They're priceless.
Onderon is such a political planet.
If you want to leave the planet, you need a starport visa. They're very hard to get. Many people want to get out of here before things get worse.
I like how there's people just dying to get out. And you have to have this special starport visa to get out, which is just absolutely insane. I understand, and I'll be going.
Mind what I said about the starport visa. I know one captain already who can't get back.
Okay, so we have a starport visa, which I'm kind of confused how I have a starport visa, but we have one. Now let's talk to the merchant. What do you have for sale? They say my goods are banned, so all these killing implements are sitting here unused. Let's see what you got. Oh, another Shiarn. Meditation band, combat sensor. Accuracy gloves. Well, I'm not seeing anything I really want to buy. Let me see if there's anything I have to sell. Because I always do end up with a couple things like those. Those aren't worth anything. Shock staff's worth something, but we're going to keep it. Short sword can go. Let me take a look, see what I've got. I don't use those. Nor do I use those. Okay. So we've at least seen that. It's a dude with cages.
Fair winds to you, Offworlder. Is it too much to hope that you are a Telosian merchant?
I am no merchant.
Still taste of misfortune, then. Our beasts will continue to wait in their cages.
Who are
I
you?
am a beast rider. I have flown great distances gathering the animals you see here. We keep hoping that Ithorians or Telosians get through the Space Force's searches so that we can sell them.
Why does Telos want your beast? Which we did originally, by the way, if you remember. See Canucks back on Telos. Canucks are not natural to Telos. They are using Onderon and Duxon for animals and fauna for other worlds.
Telos was attacked by Darth Malak in the Jedi Civil War. The surface was completely destroyed. The Ithorians have been searching for appropriate wildlife to create a new Telos, but their merchants are stalled by the blockade.
Your beasts seem restless.
They have been kept in their cages for a long time, but yet at times I feel as if something else is affecting them. Perhaps it is the city itself. Isis has fallen upon dark times, and tensions run high in the streets.
I'll be going now. And now we get to see what happens when you put animals in cages too long in Star Wars.
Calm. What? Run! The bomber is out of control!
What I love is the Beast Rider just decides to do a full Sims approach. Let's not do nothing too crazy. Poor Boma.
I don't know what to say. I've heard stories, but I assumed that they were fledgling riders, or simply tales that grow in the telling. Not since my first Drexel have I lost control of a beast. I apologize profusely. Here, I give you these credits for the danger I put you in.
Thank you for the credits. They aren't necessary.
Please keep them. It salves the shame that beast's behavior has brought me.
Do they often do this?
Absolutely not. But recently, things are not as they were. The beasts grow more agitated by the day. The stories say that the smoldering fires of city politics cast a smoke they can smell and breathe. They refer to their primal instincts.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds
As you've
legit.
just seen, when they get that way, not even a skilled beast rider can control them. As soon as I leave here, I will talk with my family. There is much to be discussed.
I'll be going. Okay, light side points. We gained 500 credits. What level am I? 21. What level are you? 17. I just realized something. I did not give you the right levels. I mean, I did, but I didn't. Feats. Thank you. That's what I thought. I want her to have that power. It's really great to just, like, throw your arm up and toss.
Halt, off-worlder. You'll have to answer some questions. What is your business?
Could we skip the formalities? We're both in a rush.
I can see you have no crates or cargo, and your ship is obviously not affiliated with the Republic.
I love tired workers. They are the best thing ever. Because tired workers are just like, yeah, nah, I'm done. I don't need this.
Let's hurry this up. I want him escorted out of here quickly.
This is outrageous. I'm not a spy. I'm a journalist for Isis Calm.
You're a Republic spy, and your propaganda will be silenced. We are taking you back to our barracks for interrogation.
But, well, you can't be serious. You accuse me of propaganda? I have proof that Vaklu is withholding information on the so-called Republic.
One more word of treason out of you. What are you looking at? This is none of your business.
This is the stuff
Vaklu's
that you're going to see a lot of.
I'm just a journalist, not a spy.
What's going
This
on?
spy has been using his position as a journalist to spread lies and dissent among our people. No doubt he's been up to other treasonous activity as well.
But that's just crazy. I was a member of the Resistance. I fought in the Mandalorian Wars.
Yes, and your disloyalty now deeply sickens me.
So here's the thing. On Onderon, you have a very precarious sort of political happenings. Like the terrain politically is very teetering on a knife's edge here. The biggest reasoning is you have Queen, I think Talia is her name, and then General Vaklu. General Vaklu is very authoritarian, if you can't tell. He legitimately believes that the Republic is bad for Onderon. He believes that Onderon needs to sort of kind of curl up into itself and isolate, and is very willing to do a lot to hide information from people and stop information from getting out. Queen Talia is technically, supposedly, the more morally correct response to all of this, because she is looking out for the welfare of her people and makes maybe questionable choices for the greater good. That kind of calls forth the idea of, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And both of them, on a technicality, probably have in their own ways, and I realize that they are fake people and this is just a game, but both of them have, in their own way, they have like what they believe to be the best interest at heart for people. The problem is because Queen Talia doesn't have as much of the grip with the local soldiers, she is having to remain more sequestered, more private, kind of hidden away, and Vaklu is able to be out and enforce things in the public and is able to incite more of people's frustrations. And you're going to see that as we continue, that there is a lot of just simmering anger. And it's an interesting political landscape to delve into.
Warrant? General Vaclu passed an edict giving the military broad authority to detain and question anyone suspected of treasonous activity. It was specifically meant for us to pick up spies like this before they could leave ISIS or go underground.
Notice that people who are suspected, it's mildly like the Salem witch trials here in America. All you had to do was say someone was a witch. All you had to do was be like, I suspect you of witchcraft. And suddenly they were detained and they were jailed and questioned and interrogated and all of these other things. So again, great political landscape. I do love how the writers put this in. I love that this was built the way that it is.
This is just because I try and expose the web of lies that...
Enough out of you! Perhaps this traitor is more of an agent provocateur, sent by the Republic to sow dissent in our ranks. That is classified military information.
Yeah, how many other journalists are being rounded up?
Questions off-worlder.
You're violating this man's rights.
Men, let him go. We'll be back with a court order. Then we'll take him to the barracks. And you should watch yourself. You don't want to be known for siding with people like him.
I don't know how to thank you.
I'm gonna make a lot of people angry here.
Prizes now. Eventually they'll come back for me. After that, I have a feeling no one will hear from me again. Thank you.
Yeah. Mandalore's gonna have a lot to say too. He gets a little persnickety. But Mandalore also was part of the Mandalorians who attempted to overtake this planet, so... you know. Okay, we aren't going to talk to these people because I already know what I need to do here. News hologram.
In the Council of Lords today, Lord Dashiell recommended a special commendation for Colonel Tobin due to his brilliant command of our armada in the skies above Onderon. Without him, Lord Dashiell said, the Republic attack would surely have done more damage. Tobin is one of ISIS's greatest heroes and deserves recognition.
Again, notice that they're pushing with everything they can that the Republic attacked first, that it wasn't Tobin that shot at me, which is not even a Republic ship. They're doing everything they can to avoid, you know, that the reality of the situation getting out to light. We're gonna talk to him.
Welcome to what must be the smelliest place in the universe, Off-Worlder. How can I assist you?
Why are there so many
Authorities
cages?
have been buying them to help rebuild Telos. I don't know why, but ever since they started, the Beast Riders have been crawling out of the woodworks to sell them animals. But the Republic blockade has meant long delays, and because of that, beast cages are filling up the streets of Isis.
What's the
That's an air
tower?
defense tower. The city's filled with them. Isis is an ancient city, and for many generations, our main enemy was the Beast Riders that lived outside the city.
Towers like these were built to protect us against Drexel and their Beast Riders.
What is a Drexel?
Drexel is a flying beast. Huge creatures with teeth the size of your arms. Lethal, and skin like ferrosteel plates. Somehow the Beast Riders figured out how to tame them years ago.
But Beast Riders aren't your enemy.
About 50 years ago, Princess Gallia married one of the great leaders of the Beast Riders, Orin Kira. That was right at the start of the Beast Wars. By the end of it, Gallia was crowned queen, and finally there was peace between our people.
Are you still allies?
It's hard to put aside centuries of conflict. There's an uneasiness between our people. The Beast Riders are upset that General Vaclu has forbidden Drexel in Isis. Citizens usually only see the fallen Beast Riders. We know better than thugs.
I'll be going now. So that's another thing to kind of remember. Here's also a good idea of like what's going on. Remember how the merchant in the starport said that he wasn't allowed to bring his arms and armor in? Let's talk to him.
Please tell me you're an off-worlder. You came from the spaceport, right?
Yes, I am.
Good news. You have a starport.
Okay, the captain already has enough complaints about you.
No need to be alarmed, my foreign friend. Pay the soldier no heed. Pretend he isn't here.
Why can you only sell to people with starport visas?
General Vaclu is concerned about well-armed insurgents. They've had to get arms from somewhere. Not from me, of course, but all sales of weapons have been severely restricted. I can only sell to off-worlders like you that have the proper clearance. And now off-worlders can't come here because of the blockade and searches, but it's a wise policy.
Not only is the overacting beautiful here, but it is, again, it's pointing out he literally has a soldier standing to his right, reminding him he can't sell anything unless people are,
Of course, soldiers,
you know, you're happy about this, right?
job. Even if it puts me out of business, I am happy. Even if I'm forced to live off scraps in the street, I am so happy to do my part. Long live General Vaclu.
Again, like I said, I love just the I'm not even going to say undercurrent of the political issues here in and on Onderon. It's so in your face, and when I was a kid, I remember reading all these things and like watching this and reading like the Legends lore that actually kind of relatively came around this time period, and going, there is absolutely, like, this is so overrated and so overdone, and then like looking at our own history as people here and realizing, oh god, no, we actually do this sometimes, is just kind of interesting to me, that actually kind of happens. So I will fawn over this planet for a little bit while we're on it. I'm not gonna lie, because I love it, but I'd like to see your stock. Oh, Zaysan Shah. Am I wearing neophyte armor? Strength enhancer, synthesized Kundalans. We have that. I need to look, because I know I have these two, but I need to know what kind of armor I'm wearing. So, I am wearing the neophyte. Zaysan Shah, do we have that? I could have sworn I had one. I do not. I think Atten is wearing it, actually.
You have returned.
Yes, I'd like to see your stock. Okay. It's not that expensive, so we're gonna buy it. Flex heavy armor. Crystal. You know what? We're gonna buy that. It's not a huge deal. I can add it later. Close. Okay. So, notice that's a huge thing. Oh, look! A group of people. Oh. We're gonna go over here first.
Unnecessary observation.
Hello, HK. Like, hello.
Let us proceed to facilitate communications, recitation, and bring about the termination of
I love the fact that I have the restored content, but at the same time I also hate the fact that I have the restored content, because it's just like, fucking really? How many of these are there? And the downside is none of them are giving me what I need. Like, I'm getting all these droid parts, which is cool because most of them are pretty expensive, but they're not giving me the actual HK parts that I require to fix HK. Slice the computer. I can't slice it? Hold on. Okay, interesting. There's something back there. Okay, so we have done that. Now to listen to this whack job.
When the Queen bows to the will of the people. The Republic has brought nothing but war and death. In our 50 years of flying their colors, we have had more war than the past millennia. Back General Vaclu in his effort to make her see reason. We do not need the Republic. They need our resources, our world, and our blood. For all that we have given, now we get nothing. The Republic is weak and falling apart. Its Jedi, whose fallen brethren have brought such misery to us, have disbanded. Let's be the first world to take our future into our hands. Are you with me?
So here's the thing here. Notice that he just said the last 50 years. Well, that includes both the Jedi Civil War and the Mandalorian War. Now, it is understandable them being angry about the Jedi Civil War because that was legitimately a war between the Sith that Revan and Malak had created and the Jedi that not only split the faction but also did a lot of damage. The Mandalorian Wars, however, literally started on Duxon. It is where they started from in this Legends lore. Onderon was the worst hit. Onderon was the one hit for the longest, and the Republic did very little. They did what they could. They sent people, they sent ships, but as it's been pointed out repeatedly, without the Jedi, the Republic were not going to win against the Mandalorians. And the Jedi sat and deliberated and waited and waited and waited. So I do understand why these people are angry. I do understand why Onderon does not like the Jedi, why they do not like the Republic, and again, beautifully written, not necessarily the most subtle. Surely the Republic does something.
So they take from us. They are like Minox, sucking energy and resources from so many worlds. They bleed us for their bureaucracy and their excesses.
That's enough, Ponlar. If you keep this up, you're going to spend time in detention. You're coming awfully close to treason.
You can't silence me forever, soldier. But I'll keep my peace. For now.
Interestingly enough, he just said they bleed us. Now, the only things that we see coming out of Onderon are some medical supplies that they manufacture, so we have to assume that's trade, and animals that literally grow on the planet. Again, trade. They're being paid for. As far as we know, as far as I've seen, there isn't any form of, required military service or anything like that. A lot of the anger really does stem from just how long Onderon had to bleed, had to die. I just accidentally hit my microphone. During that beginning part of the war, and a little bit more lore because I do have it pulled up. Okay. So, Onderon is one of the 8 planets in the Japril system. It had a temporal climate. Note, because again, this is Legends lore. It had a temporal climate, and it was once home to a primitive race of humanoids. Obviously, they did come up later. Now, Onderon is talked about in current canon, but it's not, I don't think there's a lot about it. But during the Jedi Civil War, the Mandalorians attempted to invade Onderon. They did fail. They settled on Duxon. It was the site of 2 very large battles during the Mandalorian Civil Wars. And however, interestingly enough, remember how he said that the Jedi did nothing, that the Republic was horrible to them. In all reality, it was almost unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. They didn't go there. Revan actively avoided it. It remained the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Malak was like, hey, I'm going to attack absolutely everyone, but because Revan left it alone, he left it alone. Because Revan did absolutely nothing and didn't go there, he didn't go there. And that's kind of honestly something quite interesting. Now, both of them obviously did threaten the peace of Onderon, so the Onderonian hero of General Vaklu, who was the leader of the Onderon army, did emerge through all of that, and he did start to get sympathy from people, as you can see, but at the same time he is feeding the people half-truths or point-blank lies, and that's kind of interesting because the problem is Talia is doing the same thing. If this were a real situation, if this was a real world, I'm betting you could ask, and what I mean by that is if it wasn't a video game where people could actually respond to you, I'm betting if you asked any of the people walking around me if they knew that there was a Jedi in the palace, they wouldn't be able to tell you that. They wouldn't be able to answer because they wouldn't know. And it's very interesting. If I remember correctly, there is more to the story that we will get along to when we have time with that. The crowd is dispersing. Here's these two. Notice he would cut himself off.
Moga chi norta hirembe wanachi, kati mogo grab, drum pabana karast mangra, kalala vadumba kumpaile mokata.
Kawana bota yuta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita taposanan hansata.
So, interestingly enough, notice what they just said. Exar Kun, who is a character that we have not talked about yet, was admittedly a fallen Jedi. Admittedly, he was not. He was a male Jedi Knight. He fell to the dark side. He assumed the mantle of Dark Lord of the Sith, and he waged a war against the Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order during the Old Sith Wars, which is before even this game, just so everyone knows. Legends canon here. We're even going further back. So, let's see. Looks like he died 3996 BBY, which just means before the Battle of Yavin. He wasn't necessarily a very nice person. A lot of Exar Kun is in books and in comics. I haven't read all of them, so I don't 100% know a lot about him. I did have to look him up real quick. But yes, he essentially surrenders to the dark side to... he surrenders to the dark side and then created this crusade and did attempt to take over, and as all Sith do, but he was foiled and he failed. Now, I don't 100% know and am not finding the connection between him and the Mandalorians, but it is a thing. So hopefully I'll be able to find that by the time we're here again. But yeah, so again, you have this sort of dichotomy. You have the one alien who point blank stated, you know, Exar Kun was a fallen Jedi. He's the cause of our problems, so it's the Republic's fault. And the other one's like, but the Republic hasn't actually done anything for us. They've fought battles to protect us. They haven't really taken anything from us. They've traded with us. They've given us money. They've helped our economy. It's a nice counterpoint to the idea, you know, how much good really has to be done to overcome even the slightest bit of bad. There would be deep consequences. What do you know? What do you think of Talia? Talia works with the Republic. She rules peacefully and is popular with her people, which is true. She is popular with more of the common people. A lot of people don't know that, to be honest. I am about to out myself. I grew up reading the Star Wars novels, and I own quite a few of them. They're actually still in storage. I don't have a place to put them here. I think I've got something like 70 novels and a solid almost 100 comic books from my time as a child. So Legends lore for me is where I thrive. You know, newer stuff like Andor and Rogue One, the prequels, the sequels, you know, the movies, the shows, Clone Wars, Bad Batch, all that. I have seen them. I have ingested it. I've kind of taken it in. Some of it I take with a grain of salt, particularly after Disney buying the franchise and whatnot, because obviously new owner, new things, gonna continue. But one thing that I've always kind of maintained is lore is lore. Do I prefer some of the Legends lore on a personal note? Yes, I do. I do prefer how in-depth some of it was and how absolutely interesting it was. It because it didn't focus on just like a main group of people. Some of it actually focused on characters that we've never seen again outside of Legends lore. There were entire book series about that. So I'm a nerd. I'm very much a nerd. Some of it, obviously, I do have my tablet here that I can look it up on, because a lot of it I don't 100% remember. It has been years since I've read all the books, but I do try to read them every once in a while. I'll pick a series or a character or a book and go with that. And interestingly enough, about the Legends lore, while George Lucas had, I'm going to say, relative final say in what went into Legends, for the most part, they're written by different people. You have some authors that wrote a handful of books for Star Wars, but, and it's like when you look at the novelization for the movies, most of them are written by different people every time. So not only are you getting different characters and different perspectives, particularly when you're talking about writing, you're getting completely different personalities, because writing is kind of a personality. Even when you're creating fiction, it happens a lot when you look at comic books. Like if you look at every iteration of Superman, you have wildly different iterations of that character. Same thing with Batman, same thing with Wonder Woman. I mean, you have the basics, you have the basic never gonna change facts, but when a new author or a new writer, even a new artist takes those characters on, things will change. And that's kind of what's interesting about this. Yeah, I mean, decent lore is understandable. All lore necessarily isn't good lore. And I say that because you get some really weird interactions. Like in this game, I can force heal anytime I want, provided I have the force points. In the movies, it's suggested one time that it might be a thing, and it's done, and all of a sudden death is pretty much the payment for that. It's a lot of Legends lore delved into different factions of Force users that weren't Jedi that I really wish had been talked about in the movies and even in some of the animated shows. And I'm not just talking about like the Grey Jedi, but like even the armor I'm wearing, which is I think it's Zizan Shah. But then there's the Jal Shay, there's the Matakai, there was 10 or 20 other factions that, while they were light side users for the most part, they weren't Jedi. And some of them did see the Force as this religious thing akin to God, versus the more energy thing that the Jedi tend to roll with. And it's also very interesting in Legends canon, for the most part, you do hear it talked about as religion. I think in the movies, I think the only time it's ever actually referenced as religion is when Darth Vader finds his lack of faith disturbing in A New Hope. I don't think it's ever actually referenced again. Oh no, actually, sorry, Han Solo also calls it a hokey religion in the same movie. So it's interesting in that respect. I don't know much about Vaklu. We're angry. So, on the topic of politics in Star Wars, notice that I asked about General Vaklu, and the Deveronian, I do believe, point blank says he lies. He is hiding things. He's doing X, Y, and Z things that are immoral and unethical, and the Twi'lek, I hate how things get pronounced because I can never say it right. I say Twi'lek. Just goes, yeah, he's not perfect, but he's a war hero. He went to war. He has experience. He might not be the most truthful. He might be doing things that maybe we don't all agree with, but he has the experience. And again, interesting addition here. You know, it's sort of that deciding morally versus deciding ethically. And I'm going to ask, who do you trust more? Is honor more important? Now that is a true statement. Some leaders know things the rest of us can't know, sometimes for safety. Again, great question. If you can't trust your leader's words, can you trust their motives?
Do you stand with youthful idealism or with political pragmatism?
This is also why I brought Visas, because she has some fun little snippets. So I have different options here. Trusting your leaders is crucial. I'd rather support Queen Talia. Vaklu sounds capable and has ambition. Drive and experience is a powerful combination. The Queen is Onderon's rightful ruler. Deposing her would be treason. The Republic has taken advantage of Onderon. A little revolution now and again can be a good thing. I'll lend support to whomever serves my interest better, and I'm not going to get into this. So you have the cop-out, I don't want to choose, which is still technically a choice. You have the fair weather, what's better for me. You have the mildly uneducated, well, they've taken advantage of us, and mildly uneducated anarchist, almost. Because a little revolution isn't a bad thing, right? You have the royalist, I'm going to call it, the rightful ruler response. You have the experience response. He is capable and has ambition. Drive and experience is a powerful combination. Notice that it says absolutely nothing about trusting him, nothing about trusting his motives, and then you have trusting your leaders is crucial. I'd rather support Queen Talia. Now, I as a person have a response to this question. I am not going to give it. I as a player who is playing a light-sided response am going to pick response 1. Because I'm not outing my own political preferences or any sort of political ideas here. In the Star Wars universe, thinking about it, if this was me, I would pick Talia. Because not everyone is a Jedi. Not everyone has the ability to literally sense someone's motives or someone's intentions. And when you're thinking about the whole, notice that in this conversation, the Twi'lek said that the people near power trust him, that the people near power are getting the benefit from it. Well, what about the common everyday people? Yes, they're frustrated, but they're frustrated because of Vaklu's rules, and he's blaming Talia. So it's a really nice he said, she said, but we are going to say trusting your leaders is crucial. I am going to upset both Mandalore and Visas with this.
She is a reed in the wind, too frail to stay in place. She will be blown in every direction, and ultimately to no advantage for herself or her people.
This is where it gets interesting, because again, I love having certain characters with me. Mandalore, when you take him just on his own, also has his own little quips. Do not judge by solely what is, but by what may become. Experience can be gained. Integrity is something innate, which I would agree with on a personal level. Install a droid overlord. KOTOR for the win.
You are so naive as well.
I am naive, bitch. Deal with it. What I like about this is, notice influence gained Visas, influence lost Visas. I don't necessarily know how... it looks like it tracked more to the up than the down. I don't necessarily know how that would have went if this was like real and people were standing in front of you, but I do like the fact that they just didn't turn that into a fight at the end. Also, something I forgot to show y'all. See, Vsauce? Remember how we can look through people's eyes like this? Okay. So, when you look through her eyes, this is what happens. And it shows you, like, notice Mandalore is slightly red. That is because Mandalore is slightly dark-sided. My character is very blue. Almost everyone else is yellow. They're just kind of not, because they're not force sensitives and they're not anything, they're seen as that. The interesting part is, and there isn't a door here that I can do this to, you can do that through a door with both her and I believe Kreia. And it is so fun every once in a while when you're in, like, later on with Vsauce for a different mission, you can actually walk up to a door and look through it. I do, however, have an ad over on Twitch, so before we go to the next part, I am going to take a quick 2-minute break, refill my water, take care of my bowl that I'm not going to finish because I cannot eat all of that ramen, and I don't know why I even made a pack of it, but I'll be right back. And look at that, I am kicking it back just in time for over on Twitch. Here we are. I wanted to let everyone know that while I will be continuing to stream today, my hair is a mess. At about 11:30, I'm going to take like a quick 5-minute break and I'm going to turn off my camera because my youngest child, Orion, will be home and I have been nothing if not... Stop doing that. I have been nothing if not very strict on making sure that my kids don't get in my videos and things like that. They are children and, you know, I do try to stay out of it. Anyway, so continuing on, we have now officially kind of dipped our toes into the political landscape that is Onderon. There is very obviously a very fun complication brewing insofar in the fact that there is two sides that both want the best for their people and themselves as people, but two very different approaches. So there's that. Thank you for welcoming me back, Absinthe. To the Western Square. So we just got through the market. No! I forgot about these guys. On the upside, like, I have lightning. I like how, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of your employees are exact clones of each other. I'm just gonna say it. Like, they are wearing the same armor, holding the same weapon. Like, Ginger, those are the same. That guy is the same as this guy, which I believe is also the same as that guy. These two are the same. So you have a set of triplets and two sets of triplets and a set of twins that you just decided to get to agree to die. So, you know, because we're going to do it that way. Unlimited power. Yeah, y'all are unamusing. One of these days I'm going to play a playthrough where I do not get shock, but it is such a good, it's such a great, you know, power, because it's so helpful. Alright, nothing here, even though I already knew that. Running through the streets a little bit faster than normal. Alright. Broken droid. Broken droid. Garbage pile. Ketchup stain. Beast Strider Thug. 1B.
I am 1B AD.
8D.
Droid vendor. I have in stock a variety.
Let me see if I can rewire you to be more. Oh, nope. Can't do that. Okay. What do you sell? Let me see what you have for sale. There it is. We're gonna buy that. We can actually rebuild that annoying mother fudger. Let's see. Weapons? No weapons. Armor. Dura plating. Okay. So. Now to go over here.
Best doctor you'll ever meet, but he's well connected in this city. Doesn't look like he's here right now, though.
You looking for Dagon? You're not gonna find him here.
We just discussed that.
A soldier captain was murdered at the cantina real good. They got some suspects at the tower. From what I hear, Dagon Gent is one of them.
What I love. Murdered real good. As opposed to what? Like... Murdered is murdered, bro.
He's certainly capable of it, and probably stupid enough to get caught. But we need him, suspicion of murder or not.
Do you think he did it?
No. Isis is a crazy place right now.
Hey Dagon. Oh, you already said that. What tower?
On the other side of the market. Captain Riken is the man to talk to. If you talk to him,
thanks for the
tell him I
information.
got his 20 credits.
Okay, so to the journal. You've discovered that Dagon Gent, Mandalore's contact on Isis, has been picked up for questioning involving a murder at a local cantina. You should talk to Captain Riken at the Merchant Square's turret tower for more information. So now we have to oh, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Now we have to run all the way back and do... Oh, look, a dead body. And do a little bit of investigative work to continue this. Oh. It's a pouch, and I'm unable to get to the pouch somehow. Ma'am, could you move? Thank you. Alright, we want in the pouch. Chemicals. Bag. More chemicals. Lab station. Hold on, actually. Leave it alone. Let me see. Oh, that's not what I want. Computer use. Treat injury of 17, 20, that's who I need to do that. 19, demolitions, awareness. Okay, so first things first, we're actually going to have him take a look at it because I want to see if he can make anything that I can't. XP package. Minimum constitution required 18. I do not have that. Alright. So med packs for him are 20.
My life is yours.
Let's see what they are for her. Still 20, okay. Because sometimes it can change like how much is required. Mines. So you notice she has no demolition, so she can't do that. Health. How many do I have? Inventory, life support pack. Okay, so we're done with that. Now to head back. Wrong thing. There we go. Now to run back through where we just were. We gotta do this again. This is a common issue for a little bit. Like this one little corner. How do you know me? How? Like, it makes no sense. I do stream KOTOR 2. This is my first time fully streaming the game. I've recorded it a little bit, but I took those down. I did finally get my actual KOTOR to work the other day, so I will be streaming that as well. I just haven't started streaming that. I wanted to make it through this first light-sided run. I have had some people ask, am I going to do both a light and a dark? Yes. I don't know if I'm going to do light female, light male, dark male. I don't really mind doing either or. Honestly, I could play this game forever. KOTOR 1 and 2, I never really get, like, I can play for a very long time. And what if I am? Exchange has quite a bounty. I know they do. I am so sick of this exchange bounty. Goto can go to hell. And off we go. Before anyone says anything, no, Vsauce does not have red sabers. Those are orange. Or could you stay alive, please? I don't have the wherewithal to try to save you. Honestly, why are you not wearing anything? Okay, it adds to your dexterity. Attributes. Technically you're a strength character, but you know, we're not going to talk about that. Constitution? We'll roll Constitution, why not? I don't really do a lot with you. There are certain characters that I've never naturally delved into because they're just not my style character. And I do feel like Mandalore is one of those that I have not given naturally enough love to. You know, he has joined my party, I've talked to him and whatnot. I've done dark-sided playthroughs where I'm pretty close to, you know, having the influence required to do certain things, but I just don't... I don't give him enough love, and I know I don't give him enough love, so... Ooh, Bounty Hunter Starport Visa. Thank you, you stupid idiot. You complete doo-doo head, because I don't want to swear on YouTube, even though I've been doing it all day. What were those gloves? Ooh, Chani Accuracy gloves. Nice. I mean, I don't want to be on... Yeah, just shape perception gloves. We are rolling with the... I really probably should. Like, Goto can go to hell. Oh yes, Goto can go to hell. I am... yeah. The thing is like, as far as I know, like, I want to check his lore real quick. I have him pulled up. Boop, boop, be doop. So you can't turn him into a Jedi, but you can pretty much get him to where he is, like, ride or die for you. I failed on Beodor this time, which makes me kind of sad, but that's okay. I so rarely fail on Beodor that I can handle it this time. And it's not even that, like, I focus just on the Jedi, because the upside is, so Mira, if you talk to her right, you can get her before you even leave Nar Shaddaa. Atten, you have to, I think, 1 influence gain off of Nar Shaddaa, and then you can talk to him and have him on Nar Shaddaa. So if Nar Shaddaa is the first planet you go to, which was not the case in my choice this time, you've got them right there. You have until you build your lightsaber for Beodor, and you do need to get a certain amount of pluses with him, and on Nar Shaddaa some of his stuff clashes with Atten. So there's that. It's just kind of interesting. But yeah, and I will admit, for every 1 dark side playthrough I do about 6 light side playthroughs, so I don't have as much dark-sided.
General, we have found them again.
These two.
Or is this a preface to another of your failures? Consider the whole field, Tobin. Why would a Jedi risk all of this just to come to Isis?
The crew of the Ebon Hawk is elusive, General. We were warned about that, but we still underestimated them. But the fools are here, in Isis. The intel on this is certain. I'm ordering men loyal to us to take care of them now.
I think I have an idea. Hold that order. Have her watched instead. The
One
Jedi
second.
may prove a solution to another one of our problems.
Okay. So, they know I'm here. I didn't get away with that. I am admittedly grabbing some chocolate. Anyway, but like for every 1 dark-sided, I have like 6 light. So I have far less experience in dark-sided playthroughs.
Back again, Off-Worlder? I'm sure you have a starport visa. If I were you, I'd leave before too many more beast cages are stacked in the streets.
Do you have a man named Dagon Gent in custody?
Certainly do. He and several other people were picked up in connection to a murder.
Who got murdered?
Sulio. She was in charge of the starport checkpoint. A good soldier. Your friend was one of the last people that saw her alive. So far, he's just a suspect. But if he did it, the punishment is death.
Dagon Gent is the only person I know with the contacts to help us out. We need to get Dagon out of custody.
What is about to follow this conversation is the most Scooby-Doo-esque Scooby-Doo-esque investigation you're gonna see in a video game. It's actually very funny.
Until we either eliminate him as a suspect or find the real killer. Dagon has quite a record with the authorities. The Colonel thinks that murder isn't too far a stretch for someone like him.
How can I eliminate him as a suspect?
He's one of the worst doctors I've ever heard of. But I can't see him deliberately killing someone. He was one of the last people seen with Captain Sulio in the cantina. Ask around there. I've heard he's got a good motive for killing her. If you can somehow clear that up and prove it wasn't him, Command will cut him loose. If I say any more, I'll get in trouble.
What I love is the person who just called me in the middle of my stream is one of my mods who I know got the notification I'm streaming. So it's like, why are you calling me when you know I am doing this? Anyway, I've only done dark side up to getting Han in my party, then I just pivot. So for me, I am such a hard go. I am either going to be light, I'm going to be dark. And part of that is because, like, endings change, people's conversations with you change, things like that. And even though, yes, there is a limited amount of choices in all reality, it still feels unlimited when you change it up. Also, interestingly enough, I am, for the first time, playing with the restored content. So for me, this playthrough that y'all are getting to watch is, it is very much feeling like the first time that I've touched this game. Because there have been moments where I have been so sure that I know what I need to do. That I have been dead positive, dead to rights, that I know what I need to say, I know what I need to do, I know what I need to do it. And I have been wrong. Because there's been new information added into the game. So it's interesting. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'll be going now. So, time to do the Scooby-Doo.
I won't remain silent any longer. The Republic
I was hoping it wouldn't do this yet.
They attack our spaceships unprovoked. What next? An invasion? Perhaps they seek to conquer us. Will you stand idly by? Will you let them bomb our city? No!
Again, Vaklu has some great propaganda here.
Do what the people so clearly want, then we must show her with force.
That's it, Ponlar. We're taking you in. You've gone too far.
Brothers and sisters, let us rise up now and march to the palace. Our will cannot be denied.
Don't do this, Ponlar. This will not help your cause, and innocents will die.
But it is the price of change.
You will go quietly.
I will not. My cause is just. The Queen must bow to our will.
I tried. Soldier, call for reinforcements.
He's right. Get arms. Kill the royalists.
They're arming. We need backup. We could use your assistance. Try to disable them. If the mob grows, many more will die.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Off-Worlder. We may have to hold them off alone until backup arrives.
Kill the royalists!
Alright. We're gonna do this the quick, easy, mildly electrified route. Ta-da! Literally did nothing but one time. Reasons why I love electricity. They all appear so restless. Part of me wants to let all the bomas out of their cages and let them run free, but then I realize I can't do that in the city. This is sad. It's very sad. But yeah, so I'm used to how this investigation goes, and it is very Scooby-Doo-esque. I don't know if this restored content's gonna make it worse, or if it's gonna change anything. So that's a fun proposition, because I'm not 100% sure if this is gonna go differently than normal. Make no problem. Many problem recently. Me make sure there are no more. So many problems Beth hire me, so go in, drink, but no fight or kill. No promises on that, bro. These lightsabers itch. Like, as light-sided as I am, sometimes it's nice to stab a person. Alright. Gormo. Are you a starship captain or passenger? Please, if I could take a moment of your time. What do you want? I am Gormo, captain of the Twygar. I have been stuck on Isis for over a week because some flaming scoundrel stole my starport visa. And now those idiot guards won't let me pass. My crew is going to leave without me soon. We can't afford to be docked for so long. I don't suppose you have an extra visa. Can I talk to you about her murder? I'm in enough trouble. I'm glad I wasn't even here that night. I'm sorry if that doesn't help you. Okay. So he's one person I could give my visa to. Okay, that is a thing. Patron... Kif. You're an off-worlder, right? My name is Kif. Nice to see a friendly face. Isis has been a hostile place for our kind recently. What do you do? I dabble mostly. A little of this and that, enough to make a living. So it's something shady, right? The less said the better, so I'll try and be the best. I want to talk to you about Captain Silio's murder. I had the misfortune of being here that night. It's very inconvenient. Soldiers were asking me some very pointed questions, which is a no-no in my line of business. And what exactly is that, dear? I can tell you are no fan of authority either. Let me share. Most call me a slicer, but I think that sounds too crass. I prefer to think of myself as an expert computer security analyst. I'm the only one in the city who's talented enough to make an open starport visa from a personal one. I was in the middle of a transaction that night. What do you want to know? Do you know of any reason why Dagon Get would kill Sulio? I normally try to leave the cantina before the more serious drinkers arrive. That night I was very near Dagon and Sulio. Dagon was attempting what I assume was a mating advance. When it's said like that, I'm just imagining him doing something like this. I may not be human, but even I could tell his advances were particularly unwanted. Many of the words I've never heard, but the ones I did understand I assure you were most impolite. Humiliation on that scale is a real motive for a passionate and deadly response. I told the soldiers as much. I'll be going. Okay. Thug. Do any of you guys have names? Oh, Panar! Panar?
This room is reserved, off-worlder.
I'd like to talk about the murder.
If you ask me, she got what she deserved. She looked down on us beast riders. Good riddance. I know his face.
Do you know Dagon Kent?
His office is on Bekel's turf.
Who's Bekel?
A beast rider like me and our leader. You better never be speaking ill of her, or else.
Okay. So we know his office is on turf of these people, but we'll wait and see. Patron. Oh, you have a name.
There's got to be something you need, something you want. I have connections, many connections in the city. I can provide high-quality, unique weapons that you won't be able to find elsewhere. I even have a rare lightsaber crystal, something you'd never find elsewhere. If you need money, I'll pay you 5,000 credits. All I ask is get me one open starport visa.
What do you need it for?
Don't worry what I'll do with a visa. Maybe I'll just take a vacation. Maybe I just want to visit my mother on Nar Shaddaa. Decent citizens like you really don't want to know what I'm going to do with it.
I have an honest face.
You have an honest face. I will answer your question. I need to transport permacrete explosives for the exchange. They're going to use it to take care of some competition and some local authorities. Permanently.
I'll be going now. Okay.
Do you have a visa?
Can I talk to her?
Can't be any help with that. I might have been in the same detention cell that night that Dagon's in now. The soldiers were...
Alright, so you are unhelpful, but at the same time, someone to remember. No name. You have a name, but I want to wait to talk to you. You have a name, and I'm going to talk to you in a minute. Does anyone in here have a name? I'll take that drink. Struggle? Yes, the struggle to free ourselves from the warmongering republic. I didn't know Onderon was a conquered planet. We joined the Republic willingly, yet since that time we have suffered through wars and privation. The entire galaxy was at war. Why do you think your planet would be spared? But they left you alone when you were part of the Republic too! So, again, here is where I love just the subtle nods to the idea of propaganda. Notice everyone keeps saying that the Sith were horrible, that they did this, they did that. Now, some people are talking about Exar Kun, who was a Sith Lord, who did come here well before the Mandalorian Wars. But this person is literally just talking about the recent Mandalorian and Jedi War, except Revan left Onderon alone. So Malak left Onderon alone. They were left alone during it. And still, Vaklu has convinced them that it was horrible for them. You know? But now you're under the protection of the Republic. There were smaller wars prior to the two I've discussed, by the way. I can't remember how many. But the Republic only wants peace. You know, not in this playthrough, good ma'am. You have a name? What are you looking at? Smooth skin? Nope. That person's not gonna help. Swoops, zoom, zoom, much fun, go. I'll be going. Nope, you're not helpful to my cause. Alright. It sounds like Dagon Get. She cursed at him. Okay, so... Have I gone first? First circle. Okay, now let's talk to Nico.
Nice to meet you, Sentient. Are you interested in a friendly game of Pazak?
He has such a large forehead.
Plentiful and the company amiable. Can I tempt you?
Let's play some Pazak.
So you should know, I don't pull any. You prove your mettle.
Let's wager. Let's play. I haven't played Pazak this time around, so. Okay, so we both used a card. Oh, the cards are nice to us today. Standing. Okay, so he's gonna win that one, but he's gonna use a card. I'm okay with that. I should have used my D. No. Didn't have to use a card. We're gonna use that. Oh, the cards were nice to him. Nothing I can do about that. Alright. I don't mind losing the 250 credits, honestly. It's really not that big a deal to me. I did have to use a card there. I want to win at least one round. Gonna have to let him win. Let's play some Pazak. Alright. Play. I want to see what happens because I've never actually played against Nico other than one time years and years and years ago, and I think I wagered like 50 and I still lost, and then I didn't play again because I was a sore loser as a child. At least I'm honest with myself. That was a really bad idea. Okay, at least, again, we both used a card. I'm about to say he's counting these damn cards. Oh, okay, forced him to use a card. Just used another card. I just used 2 of mine, so it doesn't matter. Like... Oh, but he's out of cards to use, so at this point, if I can at least just stay above him. Okay. Because he has none of his deck left. I do have a +4 I could technically use. But notice, if he busts before I get to that level... Stand... Oh, damn it!
That round you had the luck of a hairless bat. Do you want to know?
Okay, I want to beat him just once. We're gonna play until I beat him at least. I do love Pazak. Alright. I won that set only because like there we go. I won 2, so it looks like we might actually win this one. 1 second. My other son's school is calling. The mild downsides of having a child with diabetes. I am gonna have to take a longer break than I wanted. Here in a minute, because unfortunately his blood sugar is too low for him to get on the bus. There's my win. So...
Finally, some worthy competition for a worthy pastime. Do you want another?
Let's play again. Let's see if we can win. So in about 10 minutes, I am going to have to leave for a short period of time. I have to go get my son from school, and then I will be back. I will keep my stream on while I am gone. It usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. We're just gonna both use a card and do that. Alright. Nothing I can do about that. Nothing I had would have made it any better. There we go. So we're at 19. Oh, shit. Oh, the luck. There we go. Let's ask about his murder. Her murder.
What do you want to talk about?
Someone was saying that Sulio deeply humiliated Dagon Gent the night she was murdered. It's a pretty good motive.
She did? Oh no, by the four moons, what a mix-up. They got it all wrong. Dagon and Sulio were good friends. It's just when they got a little too much Juma juice, they'd carry on. They'd call each other all manner of things. It could get quite hilarious, really. But it was just friendly banter. That night, Sulio was in great form. Dagon and I were laughing about some of the choicer ones later. Yellow-toothed dung dweller. We bought her a couple of drinks afterwards. It may look strange on the outside, but it was just their habit. Their way of passing time during these dark nights. Listen, if the soldiers think that's a motive, they just didn't do enough digging.
That bit of information will help with clearing Dagon. But the Onderon military won't let him off that easy. They're very obstinate. Maybe some of these people will know more about what happened that night.
What happened?
I was cleaning up stakes from a particularly rewarding Pizzat game when I heard a loud sound outside. I grabbed my blaster and went out the door. When I got out, I saw Captain Sulio. She was quite dead. Blood was everywhere. I heard a noise and saw Dagon Gent coming from his office across the courtyard. We both waited for the authorities to get there. The next day, they picked up Dagon and several other people in the area. It's crazy to think he did it. Sulio was our friend.
Where did you find the body?
Outside the door by the junkie.
It might be a good idea to look at the crime scene. We fought many soldiers in the Mandalorian Wars. The Onderonians were certainly brave, but they were disorganized and stupid. I wouldn't be surprised if they overlooked something.
I love Mandalore. Notice, I broke even. That was my point. Okay. Where is that Twi'lek? Kip. Friend of a friend told me. Here's 500 credits. Got one. So we are going to go look at that junk, but then I'm going to go take this starport visa to the people that I want to give it to. I have a ritual. Garbage pile. You search the trash heap for anything related to Captain Sulio's murder. The only thing you find is dried blood where she was killed. Broken droid. This is the remains of a serving droid still clutching its serving tray. It has been heavily scavenged and the head is missing.
This droid was destroyed recently.
Okay, so. Serving droid. I can't go there yet. I need to go do this, and then I will take my quick break to go get my kiddo. Like I said, before I do, I will be turning off my camera. I'll be turning on my image that I use characterization, whatever you want to call it. Run, 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 run. Run, run. So, admittedly, like most things, you only get so many of these visas, but I will forever give them.
Help me. My children and I are desperate to get off of Onderon. Do you have an open starport visa?
Here you go.
Thank the Four Moons for your kindness, off-worlder. Hurry, children. We get to go on a spaceship. Thanks.
You're still unready to face my master. Any flaw he will sense, as he is a seam in the fabric of the Force. He senses fractures and weaknesses around him. Your treatment of this woman and her offspring is simple.
The darkness clouds your mind's eye. Compassion can create problems, but it is a source of greater strength.
Sure you are correct. I only hope you prove strong enough.
I at least gained some influence there. I didn't fully lose it. Okay, so we have to go back to the cantina, which we will in just a moment. I am going to put myself on Be Right Back. I will be back probably a 10-minute break. I'm going to be completely honest here. Unfortunately, I don't really have any other options here. No, don't load the game. Save the game. Save. Okay. Okay, so I'm saving my game. I'm going to exit this game to here. Gonna be on Be Right Back for... No, wait, hold on. I need the gaming thing. Boop. 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 Okay. So we've swapped out what I can swap. I will be right back. Like I said, it'll be probably about 10 minutes. And then we will get back to Onderon. Hello, and I'm back. I do apologize for how long that took. Probably a little longer than 10 minutes. Hilariously, I got home and my own sugar was low. So we had to, fix that problem. I had to get myself some apple juice. So, I'm gonna say this, the upside, I suppose, of, not having my camera on is I get to be all comfy now. Because, like, when you play with the camera on, you have to actually, like, wear clothes. And now I'm just in PJs, and I look like shit, but I'm happy, so. Gotta love the pajim jams. You might hear my child. Warning to those of you over on YouTube, because I know all but I think 2 of you that I've seen thus far haven't heard him. My child is nonverbal. He is a nonverbal autistic. So if he comes in the room, which I have the door open right now, he is happily actually never looked at that. Defense bonus restricted to dark side. Damn, that's cool. If he does come in the room, he might make noises. A lot of his noises sound like mms or ns. He is usually relatively quiet unless he's super, super excited. But I won't know for sure. I'm just clicking these off so that it goes away. I won't know for sure until he gets in here, so. And sometimes he does come in, sometimes he doesn't. He is currently kicking it in the living room under surveillance. I do have a video monitor in there for him. Because not only huge technicality, not only nonverbal autistic, but also 4. And I do like to keep an eye on him. So if you do notice that I stop doing something in game or I pause it and I go silent, it is because I have had to step away for half a second, but I didn't want to put my BRA back on. Oh, time to go talk. Okay, where is Nico? Nico!
Welcome back.
Okay, so not you. Maybe it's the Bith. I think it'd be the Bith. Bama. First class bartender. How may I help you, sentient? Can I talk to you about the murder? This incident has brought me much distress. An unhappy thing this is, and bad for flow of commerce. What is your interest? As would I prize my loyal customers, and he is most regular. Let me structure my memories and recall the night. I found a broken serving droid by the murder scene. That's the 3rd serving droid I've had this month. I hired a human to do the job. She's not very good, but at least she won't be stolen or destroyed. What keeps happening to your serving droids? Recently, this area has become more dangerous. Vandalism and robbery are sadly common. My droids keep being stolen. Why didn't you mention this before? I'll be going now. Okay. Nico.
Welcome back. My deck is still.
Can we talk about it? Found a broken serving droid.
SOD2. No. SOD3. Or is it 2? Whichever one it was, he keeps losing them. I remember when I arrived, it was still smoldering.
What happened to it?
Sometimes the slum dwellers shoot his serving droids for fun. This part of the quarter is getting more and more.
Oh, it's the mowing season.
For the soldiers, we had to chase off some scavengers that were stripping SOD3.
Do you remember who scavenged the droid?
We were seeing if there was any way we could help Sully. There was nothing.
I'll be going. So... I want to see something. I don't know if there's more to this. Like, I know the chain of events that usually happens, but... I hate my neighbors. And like, I say that most lovingly in all reality. Because, like, they've mowed yesterday, and now they're re-mowing, because apparently they did not mow deep enough. Can you answer my questions?
1B-AD is programmed to answer many basic questions from prospective buyers. What do you want to know?
Who do you work for? I'll be going. Okay. So there might be something else I need to do. Some remnants of the droid. There's someone in the cantina I need to talk to. I just gotta figure out which one. Possibly Kif. Kif makes sense. All for the returns. I want to talk to you about the murder. Found a broken serving droid. It's probably one of Bahima's serving droids. Is it possible the droid saw something we could recover? Did you find the head? The memory core is located. No, it was missing. Without the head, I can't find anything. If you find the head, I'll be going now. So we need to find the head. Talk to Nico.
Welcome back.
Talk about the murder. Broken droid. What happened to it? Okay. Do you remember who scavenged the droid? Okay, so he doesn't know anything. Maybe talk to Bahima? Is it Bahima or Bama? It's Bahima. Can I talk to you about the murder? Found a broken droid. What keeps happening? Alright, I'll be going. So it's none of them. Maybe it's this dude. It's not exactly the nicest, but...
This room is reserved.
Locke to talk to you about the murder. Broken droid.
Keeps buying droids, and the scavengers keep stealing them or blowing them up. Seems he's finally given up. The waitress is awful, but she's more fun than his droids ever were.
Any idea which scavenger got to his droid?
I knew. I could tell you where you could find the parts, though.
Where?
Western Square has the perfect fence for droid parts. There's a droid vendor called 1B-8D. That droid is as dumb as 1B-8D is quite handy.
Alright, so now we have to go back outside. Back outside. Now we can go talk to the droid.
I am 1B-AD, an automated droid vendor.
I need to know if you have any parts from the...
Bahima unknown. I have many serving droid parts.
I do like that there's different faces. Here's 25 credits. There we go. We have the remnants of the droid. Nico's face model is based on some forum contest winners. Looks like he looks like a clearly scanned face. He really does. Like, it looks, and probably back in the day, not a full scan, because you have to remember how old this game is. It was probably taken from pictures, But yes, I will give you that. It is very interesting. I didn't know how to talk to you about the murder. I have the remnants. Let's take a look at his feed.
Hello there. What is this? Oh my, she's dead.
It seems says the recording proves the killer came from the marketplace. You may want to show this to Nico. Nico. There you are.
Welcome back.
Can I talk to you? I want to show you this.
There's no way that Dagon could have done it. I saw him coming from his office. That's the
Time to go talk to Captain Riken.
Nico, is it? And the Offworlder. What brings the two of you here?
Dagon Gent couldn't have killed
That's a bold
Sulio.
statement. I assume you...
Nico can
It's a
explain
long
it.
story, so bear with me, Captain. The night of the murder, I was playing Pazak. It was a prosperous night.
I like that he was immediately like,
Still don't know
but
who killed
money.
Sulio, but this will greatly assist our investigation.
You have been ordered off this investigation, Captain. I hope you can explain yourself.
I had nothing to do with this, sir. This citizen found information about Captain Sulio's murder. It's
Notice
material
they're
to
saying
investigation.
Sulio.
We've already
Nico says
got our man.
Sulio.
Sulio and this Gent were fighting the night she was murdered. He had ample motive.
How much investigating did you do?
We did our job, Offworlder. And an hour or two of meddling on your part gives you no right to say that. Have you read the report? Some of the things Sulio called him were vile. Sulio and Dagon clearly hated each other.
Did you talk to anyone in the bar?
Friends would not carry on in such a manner.
It's absolutely true, Major. I was a friend of both of them. They've done this dozens of times. Bahima, the bartender, can confirm it, as well as half a dozen other people. They were an odd pair, but they certainly didn't hate each other.
I see. But there's still the fact that he was right there at the scene of the crime.
What I love is the fact that they keep saying, oh, friends wouldn't do that, friends wouldn't do that. Y'all should hear some of the vile things I call my friends. Some of the shit we say to each other. I have been called so many horrible things by some of the people that I love the most in my life. And like not in like a mean we're fighting way, but like in a, you know, just kind of joking banner. So yeah, no, that's totally...
So what? What matters is who was there first. An eyewitness said he came from his office almost immediately. The only thing that...
He came from his office, but recording of the murder shows the shot came from the opposite direction.
Recording? And I'm sure you're just misinterpreting it.
I've seen it myself, Major. Nico isn't the only one that spotted Dagon coming from his office. It really can't be Dagon Gent. The real killer is still loose.
Very well, Captain. Set Gent free then. But if later it turns out that he did do it, it's gonna be on your head.
Friar
We're
Tuck.
working on getting Dagon Gent out right away. The Major sure isn't happy. Great job, Nico. Without you, I'm pretty sure that the doctor would still be behind bars. And thanks for your legwork, Offworlder.
What were you trying to do, Offworlder? If I hadn't spoken up for Dagon, he'd still be in jail.
The Major seemed particularly unwilling to believe he was innocent.
Handled at the highest levels. I've heard there's been some concern. With Dagon free, I don't know if the investigation team will find another suspect. They haven't been as diligent as they used to.
What do you mean?
Probably said too much already. If you head over to... Thanks for clearing this whole thing up. I could tell the justice wasn't being served, but... We all have our orders. We really need to patrol.
Okay.
Thanks for getting me out of there. As the
Oh, I forgot he's a cue ball. Oh my goodness.
but I prefer getting out on my own all the same. I owe you and Mandalore one.
Mandalore said you might be able to help me out. I need to get in touch with someone from the palace.
Yeah, with that. There've been several assassination attempts on Queen Talia. That place is locked tighter than a Hud's fall. I know a few people, though. Who do you need to get in touch with?
Jedi Master.
Jedi Master, you say? Now that is interesting. It's quite a bounty in Jedi these days. Not that I'm looking to collect, but there's a master there. I think I know who it is.
They have mowed the same strip of lawn 8 times. Can you get in touch?
Problem with that. I know you don't want to hear that since you went through all the effort. The thing is, scavengers have already looted most of my stuff. Most of it's garbage anyway, so I don't care too much. But I did have a couple of encrypted holodisks that came there. So here's the punchline. I need those disks because they have some contact information on them. Raquel's
Who
gang
has
pretty much owns the
them?
street. From what I hear, she's the one to clean. She's in the local cantina most days. She's tough as Drexel leather and more dangerous than an green boogie. You take Mandel, just get me the encrypted holodisks. After that, there is a Jedi Master. I'll get you meeting.
Okay, so we got another double-bladed lightsaber, which is kind of cool. This one looks to be yellow. Oop. Hold on. There we go. I accidentally took off one of my lightsabers. I like how angry Nico was, and it was like, dude, I was just talking to him. Hello.
What do you want here, Off-World?
You have something that belongs to Dagon Get. I want to get it
And
back.
just how do you intend to?
It was
The
credits.
Off-Worlder wants to make a
Oh, you're gonna make me do this. You know, I was specifically told not to kill people in this cantina. You just made me kill people in this cantina, ma'am. Like, you have made me murder. Before we go, though, there is someone I have not yet talked to that I now want to talk to.
I thought it was you. I served in the Mantle.
You look familiar, too.
The ground troops. We fought on Daggery Minor together. It was near the beginning of the war. We didn't win.
I remember Daggery Minor.
The whole galaxy isn't safe for Jedi now, especially here. Onderon has suffered through 3 wars started by fallen Jedi.
Not directly, but I try to lend a hand when able.
News I've had in months. I was sent by the Republic Senate to investigate certain delicate matters that are happening on Onderon. It's worse than we feared. I have to get to Coruscant to deliver my report. But days before I was planning to leave, they started requiring starport visas.
Why is it important?
Jedi Civil War, the Republic was weak, and the cost to the Jedi Order was staggering. This entire region is unstable, and the entire Republic government could collapse. If Onderon secedes, other worlds may follow, and that can't be allowed to happen.
Why not?
Trade between our worlds has brought economic prosperity, and people just take it for granted. All worlds are now interconnected. The Senate also smooths over differences, and is a great instrument for peace. If the Republic falls apart, 1,000 little wars born out of petty rivalries will erupt over time. Eventually, the entire galaxy could be thrown into a dark age.
What was your mission?
Can't say. The most I will say is stay clear of General Vaklu. His ambition knows no bounds. I believe the people of Izers are absolutely correct. A civil war is brewing, and Vaklu may very well win if I can't get to Coruscant in time.
I have an open starport visa.
Looking for one for weeks. Thanks.
Here you go.
Done a tremendous service for the
Ta-da! Light side points gained. We're all done with that. Nothing else to be said here. Now we're gonna go back to Dagon Get. We're gonna give him the holodisks that we did admittedly have to kill for. I just want to run a little bit faster.
Have you found the encrypted hole?
There you go.
Go in there. With these, I'll check my contacts at the palace. I should be able to get a meeting with your Jedi Master shortly. You got anything you need to take care of in the quarter, you best do it now. You're dealing with serious politics by contacting him. If things go bad during a meeting, you may not be welcome in ISIS anymore. Perhaps never. Just let me know if you want.
Is this meeting a trap? I can't afford to lose you, especially given recent events.
Anything could be a trap. Baklu is no fool. But if the message is true...
Is this necessary? I can guarantee your safety in the palace, but outside these walls, the general has many men that would do anything for him.
Whoa.
Very well. But please, be cautious.
Aren't I always?
Okay.
That's what I was afraid you'd say.
My OBS just messed up, so we missed most of that cutscene, and I do apologize.
Head straight to the cantina. Your guys should be in there. And no offense, but I hope I never see you again.
You must have gone through a lot to arrange this meeting. The palace is at full battle readiness. Smuggling in a message is no small task.
I have my ways, Master KOTOR.
The famed Jedi Guardian. The Mandalorians counted on the fact it would be you, not Revan, who would lead the Jedi against us during the Mandalorian Wars. I wonder how we'd have fared against you. I thought you were killed fighting Malik during the Jedi Civil War.
It seems my former student keeps curious company. Strange times lead to strange alliances, though. I have my ways as well. Why are you here? I imagine that you hold little love for any on the Jedi Council anymore. Even an old friend.
I can't remember if you can actually bring her. I want to know why I was cast out.
I understand that it was a time of great uncertainty. We just learned that Darth Revan was back with an armada. Every Jedi that went with her was lost, corrupted, as dark as their master.
Oh my goodness, quit mowing!
Many thought you were a spy. There's more to it than that. And I think you deserve an explanation.
Am I interrupting? In orbit, I thought for sure that the Ebon Hawk was mine. I was certain, only to see you slip through my fingers during the battle. Imagine my delight to discover you were on Isis. Quite careless, if you ask me. Get them, men, and watch your aim. Civilian casualties cause a mess of paperwork.
Once you return to the palace, I'll get word to you when I'm able. Run!
What have you done to my men?
What I love is he just said on Isis. We are not on Isis. We are in Isis. On Onderon. On Onderon.
This grenade could cleanse some of the dirty and insignificant souls here.
Let's just focus on the soldiers for the love of Christ Almighty. I really do try not to kill innocent people. What I know is like no one's even running. Like no one cares, no one moved. Nico's holding his head, but that's it. Everyone else who's sitting just not giving a damn.
I'll tell Dagon Gent to get out of Isis for good luck.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. No, everyone else. Just, nah, we're good. We don't need to care. Alrighty. Here we go. Time to fight through. The amount of blaster deflection I have on these lightsabers is absolutely hilarious. I love the fact that it's lightsaber noises. Oh, Visas, you done... You quit out on me. Okay. Let's get you leveled up. Really might be my best bet. Okay. You know what? For funsies, we're gonna level me up too. Powers improved force camouflage. Improved revitalize. No. We're gonna do night speed. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay. Remains. Want to strip their body of all fun shit. Again, I do apologize. The downside of living like where I live, which is a relatively like kind of quiet town, is you do end up with, you know, the older folk who legitimately believe that God forbid their grass get even the slightest bit too long. I love their death cries because it's literally just, it's almost Wilhelm scream funny to me.
What's happening in the West Square? It sounded like battle. Command's ordered comm blackout. Do you know what's going on?
Vaclu's soldiers have been attacking me.
Why? That makes no sense. Are you sure it wasn't some of those Beast Rider slags?
Broad daylight, they were wearing
you must
uniforms.
Be mistaken. Soldiers just don't attack. Just head to the safety of the Merchant Square, citizen. We'll send a patrol to investigate as soon as we can contact our HQ.
Not all the military is after us. Still, we should head over to the spaceport before General Vaclu invents some charges again.
Alright.
You know what to do. Let's do it! Get her!
Where is the enemy? The fact that just randomly citizens are willing to attack is kind of sad.
We're gonna have to find another source of cheap fuel now that Varagus is gone.
Okay.
The diagnostic is doing something strange. Target acquired. What the hell does that mean?
It means your stupid defense turrets are about to start attacking me. However, I'm gonna have the absolute most fun just doing this. Mandalore, are you doing anything? Good, ma'am.
Your visa's been scanned. You're cleared to leave. I'd leave right away.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. I want to go.
The shuttle is just ahead. I think we should get out of here fast. No more trips to Isis.
Okay, well, we are screwed on coming back to Isis, which is what it is. But on the upside... Okay, one of the very few things about this added stuff is just how absolutely insane the amount of these droids are. There are so many of them. Mandalorian shuttle. To return to Duxon, because we can't do anything else here. Time to run, 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 run. Ah, the stereotypical Star Wars music.
We're back. The shuttle is going to stay docked here until further notice. I'm not ready to part company yet. It sounds like you have a lot of traveling to do. So do I. I'm going with you. The Sith have taken a particular interest in you, and you could use an extra blaster. I've been meaning to leave Duxon to look for other Mandalorian clans anyway.
That sounds altruistic. I didn't know you had it in you.
Matter of self-interest. The Sith aren't known for sharing power. If the Jedi Order is destroyed for good, it's inevitable that the Sith will dominate the Republic, and then my people will be eradicated or enslaved. Helping your cause is a matter of necessity. Mandalorians helped Exar Kun during his war. We know firsthand how we fare in the service of their like. But that's enough for now. We'll have time to talk later.
The Ebonhawk is patched up and ready to go. When you're ready to depart, we can ask the guide here to take us.
Awesome. Time to run.
I don't think you'll be able to return to even a Jedi.
I mean, I've kind of defeated an entire army alone. Does that count? Metal box empty, metal box empty. Let's go look and see if there are any remains from all the Sith we killed. Because there were a lot of them. Bro, have you not... Heal yourself. Good God.
Mandalore, Quartermaster Kex on duty. What do you need? At ease, Kex. Young Kex here got a battlefield promotion when his predecessor got quartered by a beam splitter. Whatever this visitor needs, Kex, make sure she has access to it, provided she can pay for it. Of course, Mandalore.
Oh no, you're fine, honestly. I quite like the recurring sort of like little tunes that are very much Star Wars. It's kind of like there are some in Lord of the Rings in the movies that exist that you know that's a Lord of the Rings tune, motif, ambiance, if you will. And I think he has issues.
Is that true, Kex? Do you have some issues?
But there's some in Star Wars as well, and other places.
Mandalore, I don't trust her. So you don't think our guest should be wandering around free, is that it? No, Mandalore, I do not. The stranger may be a spy for Onderon or the Republic. So you don't trust my judgment? Are there any other orders of mine you want to question? No, of course not, Mandalore. Then you're an idiot, Kex. But you're right not to trust our guest here. But until then, Kex.
I like how he's like, yeah, no, you're right. It's fine. Let's see what you got. Show cell list. Weapons, because there's some weapons I want to get the frick rid of. Like this one. We're going to sell one of those. We're going to sell both of those, because I don't use those. Ooh. Ooh, that's nice. Actually, hold on. Yeah, I have someone I can give that to. Mandalore Guide, Mandalorian Guard, Zuka, broken wires are fixed. I wonder if we can go up here. Zarga. Kelborn! Can we actually go in here yet? Look at that. Into Mandalore's rooms. Where he keeps very little. It's like the least personal space I've ever seen. Caracan gauntlets? What are those? Ooh. Not bad. We're still gonna stay with the Sith power gauntlets though for now. Helps my slashies and my... Yeah. Yeah, there's English there. I don't have it yet, though.
Ready to head back to your ship? Follow me.
I love the fact that the game does provide you with something that makes it so you don't have to walk all the way through the gosh darn forest. But I saw a Canuck we didn't kill. It requires murdering. Oh, there's one more. Where are you, little wide-eyed mouth with feet? Okay, if you're not gonna close the combat. There we go. Alright, time to enter the Ebon Hawk and to reactivate one of the most annoying droids in this game. Not that I don't love HK-47, because I do, but oh my god.
There was a pattern to Revan's attacks during the Jedi Civil War. She sought to convert Jedi, not kill them. That is not all. In fact, she fought to keep the infrastructure intact, killed certain political leaders that would lead to destabilization. First Patriarch Lelin Dur of Sirocco, the Corellian diplomat Mimis Yoon, and Yusunis of Achani.
You think she wanted to have something left to conquer?
She intended to conquer. I think she was trying to do something else. I think she was trying to unify the galaxy against some other threat.
Against what?
I do not know. And that concerns me.
Alrighty. There's a low hum from within the droid and the sound of circuits sparking, restoring power to the droid systems.
Diagnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude.
Why were you in our storage hold?
I do not know, Master. It is curious that I was here, although this place does seem familiar. Extrapolation. Perhaps someone was already in the process of rebuilding me. It may be I was needed for some task.
You look like a series of droids who've been attacking me.
If I were out to kill you, we would not be speaking. And regardless, I am a unique model. Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable.
Well, there's at least 4.
Master, I must inform you that your attempts at humor are wasted on a droid such as I.
Actually, there's a series of HK-50.
Resignation. Very well, Master. If you persist in your attempts at humor, I shall indulge you. Let me check the ship's records, and we will settle this matter once and for all. Conclusion. You speak the truth. This discovery is also causing me some degree of anger and humiliation.
Are you alright?
Am I all right? Oh, yes, Master. Why, I am fine. Statement. I mean, I've only just been reactivated, only to find that there are substandard duplicates of me running all over the galaxy, corroding my good name. But if they are in fact hunting you, then I look forward to the opportunity to meet these units and educate them in proper assassination protocols. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being.
You're an assassin droid?
Yes, as I said. Oh, how
Are you ready to serve me?
Yes, Master. HK.
Okay, so the downside is he is another one of those characters that you just have to be kind of dark-sided with to get information.
I wanted to say thanks. Thanks.
It was not my doing, I merely showed what you could do.
It feels right somehow, like a piece inside me just clicked into place.
Nothing, never mind. Alright. Now, we have Mandalore. If you haven't noticed, on certain planets there have been groups of Mandalorians, and that is exactly what we're going to go do. We are going to go talk to those groups of Mandalorians. I do realize that technically the next... Ow. I just headbutted my microphone. The next most logical step would be to go to Korriban. I am going to push that off ever so slightly to go get these other things. Plus, I do want to talk to both Goto and HK and hopefully get a little more information out of both of them. Okay. So we are going to take Mandalore out here because we do need Mandalore. Where in the world is HK? There he is.
Statement. As I have studied your actions looking for potential vulnerabilities to exploit, I have found several.
Why are you studying me for vulnerabilities?
Master, it is nothing personal, but professional pride dictates that I keep a running tally on any potential weaknesses in my masters. And of course, the weaknesses of any other sentient meatbags droid.
That doesn't answer my question.
Master, it is entirely possible that one day you may no longer be my master, and that my new master might get jealous of our prior relationship. It has happened before. As a result, I have a responsibility to know your weaknesses should I be required to assassinate you.
You don't have to call me master.
Oh, I am aware of that, Master. I simply use it to give you the illusion of control and obedience. Humans often need such comforts until... State.
I just want to ask you some questions.
Statement. Very well.
For a sophisticated assassin droid.
Master, you wound me. Not physically, but in my behavior core. It is true that I once possessed many more protocols and upgrades, but time and damage has taken. And I am afraid that I have a rather long history of memory problems, which has also compromised my effect. Still, you will...
I had other questions. Oh, I love this one. I have to.
Answer. Many organic meatbags find that question difficult to answer, Master, but I believe
I have to. I love this.
Definition. Love is making a shot to the knees of a target 120 kilometers away using an Aerotech sniper rifle with a tri-light scope.
There's a certain lethal charm in such a shot. That's the best definition of love I've ever heard.
This definition, I am told, is subject to interpretation. Not many meatbags could make such a shot. And strangely enough, yet for me, love is knowing your target, putting them in your targeting reticle, and together achieving a singular purpose against statistically long odds.
Okay.
Statement. Perhaps my anticipation of working with one who served at Malachor
5 or 2
was too...
countering logs. How is that?
Statement. Well, all your behavior up to this point suggests either strong atonement or confirmation that the atrocities attributed to you during the war were in fact accidents.
They weren't accidents. I did them on purpose. Why do you want to know?
Why? Because your actions then and now are related, and I feel I need some
What do you mean?
Statement. Sometimes, Master, it is difficult for meatbags to step back and gain some perspective on death and its importance in their insignificant lives. Explanation. You see, Master, Assassination is such a versatile tool. I have seen the removal of a single target have far-reaching consequences for a nation, world, even a galaxy. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead.
That's a very human perspective.
Master, please, any I was only.
How is that?
Why your own Malachor 5 was an impressive act of destruction, but its impact on the lives of others in the galaxy was far more extreme. I mean, Master, you brought about the death of the Mandalorian race. I doubt they realize it yet, but you dealt them a blow from which they will never recover.
I had some other questions. Who was your previous master? Okay, doesn't say it. How did you get scattered?
Well, Master, I believe I was shot repeated. Statement. I am an extremely valuable piece of equipment after all, Master. My parts were no doubt costly to obtain, and their new owners hesitant to part with them. Statement. That is indeed unfortunate, Master. It is merely another thing my attacker will answer for. I would be most distressed if you were to shoot me, attack me, or dismember me in any way. I do not wish to repeat the experience. Statement. Ah, yes. Them. Very well. What did you wish to know? Answer. Master, I do not know. I have tried in vain to find it, but so far the location of the factory churning out these copies has eluded me. Statement. I have no idea, Master. Statement. Oh no, Master, surely you are mistaken. I would never malfunction in such a way on purpose. Prompt. Do you understand me? I have no idea. It certainly isn't a matter of it being locked in my memory core and being unable. Answer. I fear that any such information that exists would only come out when a certain sequence of events takes place. That is why I am eager to encounter more of these clones in the hopes that something clicks that allows me to finally pull the trigger. Statement. Answer. Master, as part of my original
Notice 600 languages, and I think they said 6,000, and C-3PO is like 6 million. It's hilarious.
When killing non-basic speaking targets, which gave me some small measure of satisfaction. Answer. Yes. I believe my original master needed this functionality in order to recover information from various indigenous tribes across the galaxy, but I know little else than that. Suffice to say that that translation capability allowed these copies of myself to assume the role of protocol and translation droids in much of known space. That is, of course, not their primary function.
What do you mean?
Recitation. For example, on Praven Prime, the simple transferring of Elzing syntax for friendship changes its meaning and implies that one's broodmate was actually impregnated by their own host.
If that was spoken aloud, then it would explain much. Is that what happened?
Confirmation. Oh, truly, you can imagine the results. Statement. This comment, of course, caused a civil war between the Guvandi Collective and Elzing that still persists to the current date. Answer. Yes, Master. Such incidents
More echoes?
outwards from their point of origin, much like an echo.
goes.
Answer. It is something I heard a previous master say before, I believe, but I cannot recall the context. Still, somehow it seemed applicable to this situation. Odd. Statement.
Why did they start revealing
I do
themselves?
not know why these clones chose now to start revealing theory. I can only assume that some critical moment is approaching where stealth and observation.
Oh, I gained influence. No, just some questions. Who's your previous master? Okay, so I still can't do that. Alright, what planet are we on? Did we actually go to Dantooine? Have we left yet? We did, okay. Time to take out Mandalore. I'll also grab HK just for the fun of it. HK is one of those that I can just kind of upgrade with no chill. We're gonna run with relative speed. So right now we're actually going to where I know there are Mandalorians. And Mandalore's gonna do his thing. Probably should actually, like, load you up. God, you can't even have any of that. I should probably level you up a couple times. We'll do the recommended there. I don't really play with him much, so... Modified assassin protocols. Get him further up. I at least want to get him to 15 before we move too far forward. There we go. Sadly, I don't think we're actually going to be able to trigger something, because if I remember correctly, he has to meet himself once or twice.
Ready to serve.
Look who's walked into our camp, boys. Mandalore himself has come to visit us. I am the new Mandalore. I have reclaimed Mandalore's helmet, lost after our defeat at Revan's hands. Assemble the rest of your clan. You will return to Duxon. We must come together as we were before and prepare to fight a new war. A war that will return us to glory. And if I take that helmet from you, guess that makes me the new Mandalore. I've always wanted to be called that. I know all about your exploits, Mandalore. We have fallen far in the past, Perhaps I'll be able to change your mind. Stay out of this.
We're just gonna kill this dude. Like, he's just gonna let us shoot him.
Any other takers? No, Mandalore. We will follow you. Good. I have no desire to spill any more Mandalorian blood today. Gather your clan and return to Duxon. You have seen the last of your mercenary days. Yes, Mandalore.
There we go. Why am I naked? What? I don't know why that was a thing. I want to go here. I don't think there's any, like, I know there's nothing else to find in the Enclave. But we didn't go this way, so I know there's stuff to kill. EXP to be gained. I think this door is shut. Upper level of the Enclave will open. Damage is too extensive. Okay. Time to run. Time to run. Alrighty. So we're done on this planet. Now to go to Nar Shaddaa, and while we're there we will talk to some Mandalorians, the traders, to get money, and then we will run back to Telos to also get money, and then I think that's probably where we'll stop. Wrong thing. It's possibly where we'll stop today, because I don't think we're gonna be able to fully do Korriban yet.
What do you mean, Pazak? What, again? This is Ronto Scrag. What house rule says I have to go first? Yeah, well, I'm still not convinced you aren't cheating.
Warning, if you draw another +-1 card,
oh my god,
enact assassination protocols.
This droid is cleaning me out.
What are you playing?
Pazak. Well, I'm playing. It's cheating. Whatever, cheater.
Deal me in. Why not? Let's play Pazak, y'all. Damn it, I should have stood. I have used more cards than my opponent. I'd lost.
HK-47, I did not realize that you still existed, especially now that the other generations are activated.
Query, what is it you wish, Fat One?
I see that your recent reassembly has not affected your behavior core, nor your attitude.
Statement. If I require a similar diagnostic in the future, I shall seek out the Iridonian.
Oh, I do not think so. There is much work that needs to be done first.
Query, have we had the misfortune to meet before? I believe I would have remembered one as large as you.
Oh, yes, we have met. And I have not finished with you yet.
Statement. My memory core has suffered some damage. Statement. Yet somehow, a gap in my circuits makes me feel as if I should remember you. Statement. This is all the more important since during my routine inspection of all potential escape routes from this vessel, I made an interesting discovery. Observation. The navicomputer is voice-locked. As a consequence, you are now responsible for course corrections and astrogation. Statement. That is indeed a great burden. It also raises many questions. Query. Why would someone lock the navicomputer? Answer. Presumably to hide where one has been. Statement. I believe you've been somewhere. Somewhere you wish to keep hidden.
All I'm saying is T3 is just such a little boss. I absolutely love him.
Query. Statement. I certainly hope it is not the T3.
Hold your fire. I don't want anyone killed yet. Just some questions.
Statement. Very well.
Alright, let's see. I found the navicomputer tampered with.
Indeed, I was unaware that the
It's voice printed.
Yes.
You can mimic languages. Can you unlock it?
I suppose so, Master. But I would need to know who voice-locked it. And regrettably, I do not have that knowledge. It seems to me that we will have to accept the T3's astrogation abilities. State.
Why did you ask me about the Mandalorian Wars?
Because your actions then and now are related, and I feel I need some context.
What do you mean?
Sometime.
Okay, so we've already done that. Nothing, never mind.
Query.
Make sure, is there anything else I can talk to him about? You don't have to call me that. You answer to me. What do you mean, the end? But until you do, you answer to me. Nothing, never mind. Okay, so I'm not going to get much more out of him right now. So we did that. Now to go to Nar Shaddaa, do the exact same thing. And while we are there... Nar Shaddaa, travel. Ow. Hello, tiny sir. Alright, 1 second. Okay. We're going to be sitting on Nar Shaddaa for just a second. My son does need something from me. Alright, and I am back so that we can at least get the Mandalorians off of Nar Shaddaa. I do apologize. My son came in with an empty cup and the look on his face that only a toddler can give when he realizes that his favorite bluey cup is officially empty. So, add, okay. Pada! I do like bringing different people. Alrighty, we're gonna go to the docks first. And then we will go... Yeah, we're gonna go to the docks first. That's the refugee sector. Not in there for me. Well, now that we're going around, I'm just gonna do this. Now that we're going around, we're gonna go here first. Here are you. What tribute have you brought me? No new wealth. Very well. Good sir, I have already done what you have tasked me to do. Go away. Don't get pissy with me. I have no time for your bullshit. Okay. Talk to Gita real quick, see what she has. What type of savage and trade routes? Let me see what we have. Yellow crystal. Show sell list. Armor weapons. We aren't going to use it, so. Armor. Show buy list. Okay, off we go to the docks so we can go talk to our next set of yeah, what are they called? Mandalorians, there we go. Okay. Because Mandalore needs to talk to them too.
Another Mandalorian. You're welcome to join us. Our clan has traveled here in search of work, and if we find a working arrangement, then I'm sure you could be included in.
I'm not here for any mercenary work. I'm here to return your clan to Duxon, where I am restoring our people to their former glory.
Mandalore? But after Revan defeated Mandalore, no new one was chosen.
I intend to rectify that error.
I have no doubt that you believe that you are Mandalore, but look at the situation we are in now. Anyone could buy a helmet from a swoop track and make such a claim. And the last time Mandalore traveled in the company of non-Mandalorians, we were pledged to Exar Kun.
I valid myself with Mandalore.
Perhaps you are deserving of the title of Mandalore. I heard rumors from Isis about Mandalorian sightings on Duxon, so perhaps there is truth to what you say. Very well, Mandalore. My clan will follow you and make for Duxon, so that another clan might be excuses.
So we've gotten them. So, I think that's all of them that we can get. So, I think that's all of them. Alright. Time to do this. We're gonna go back to our ship We're gonna go to Telos, see if Romana has anything for me. Maybe she will, Lord knows. And then we will be done for the day. Because at this point, we've got about 3 hours now. I did 3 hours last night. I do think it has been productive. We are now on to Korriban as our last available world to do without doing any repeats. Let me take a look. Seeking Passage, Karana and her family, we can't do that one. Yeah, we are kind of at the tail end. So, on to the Hawk! Oh, you again.
I wish to show you something.
What?
Not with words, but by feeling it. With the Force. Close your eyes. Feel the universe. Strip away the life on board the ship. Someone is creating an echo. A resonance in the Force. Each dying world creates an echo in the Force. And as the echoes build, it touches all life in ways that are invisible to
Oh yeah,
see.
we have to talk to Visas. Oh
The
shit.
despair created from such events breeds and grows. Someone is bringing the dark side to the galaxy through destruction. A critical point.
Well, shite. Telos. We're going to travel off to Telos. There we go. Okay, we are on Telos now. I will eventually have to actually... Oop, wrong thing. I am eventually going to have to talk to Visas. Probably something we can do next time. We will add her. You know what, Atten? You were stuck before, so we'll take you out this time. Nope. Let's go faster if I don't hit the doorway. Terrace citizen.
I've been waiting for my flight to Terrace for 5 years.
I say that only because I know what Terrace is and I know what happened to it. It just makes me... There's a sadness there. Let's go try to talk to Romana. I don't think there's anything else for me to do here, so... Yes, give them to me. Okay. So nothing from her.
Well, if our treasury continues to be sapped for projects like this one, Onderon will be the next step.
Okay. So back to the Hawk we go. And then when we come back, we will be talking to Visas and going to Korriban. So we will be going to essentially the Sith base world. I don't want to say home world. I'm going to say base world because it is where a lot of Sith end up going. It is where a lot of them end up being. It's where they're buried. It's where a lot of their teachings are. So we are going to go do that. So Onwards, upwards, inwards, and outwards.
I don't understand why you won't let me take a look.
Statement. I've had quite enough tampering at the hands of unskilled meatbags such as yourself. I'm not eager to submit to this treatment now or in the future.
Unskilled meatbag? I'll show you unskilled.
Appeasement. I did not mean to imply that you were an unskilled meatbag, as incapable of performing rudimentary repairs as holding a hydrospanner. It is only that I am quite particular with my repairs. Perhaps when I am more confident in your abilities, I will allow you to examine my internal components.
If you've got some time, I'd like to see what I can upgrade for you.
Yes, I do have a few moments to spare for your work. I would like to know what he is doing here, though.
He helps me out with repairs. That isn't a problem, is it?
I suppose not. Perhaps in working on my circuitry, your assistant will learn something about how a fully functional droid is constructed.
Just ignore him and let's get to work.
I would appreciate that. Our group has little in the way of time to spare, and I would not want to delay you from your other duties.
Right. Let's get you open. See what you can do.
The droids.
I have to say, you are put together quite well. There wasn't much to do.
As I told you, my design is streamlined and efficient, though I am pleased that you were able to make some improvements, and this was not just a waste of my valuable time.
There were a few things from my remote that I was able to integrate into your construction.
I see. Well, thank you. I'll let you get back to your work.
Permanent +1, nice. Didn't expect to see you awake.
I remember the ships, the last stand of the Republic. The tattered remnants of our fleet, the largest we could gather. But it was damaged, weakened, and vulnerable. The Mandalorians couldn't resist. They tore into us like beasts, shredding our ships to scrap as we fought back. Yet this time there were no reinforcements for either side. Revan had been delayed out-system by Mandalorian scout ships. By the time she arrived, it was too late. And beyond Malachor, there were no more Mandalorians left to die. I remember standing on the bridge with you and watching the destruction of the Republic, watching ships full of soldiers and Jedi burn and die. I remember the look you had when you turned to me. It was the longest you'd ever looked at me. You didn't say anything, just a nod. Events moved quickly then, even in my dreams. Flashes, explosions, you falling. I could feel the pain around me. And then the memory, the drifting hulks of the Mandalorian ships, the dead, allies, friends, strangers. And then the echo, lingering, the sound I awakened to in my nightmares.
My decision
Blame
haunts me
lies with
too.
me for creating it. The situation forced your hand. Anger forced mine.
If you are to blame for its creation, then I am equally to blame for
Realized
commanding
that
its
unless
use.
action was taken, the fleet would be destroyed and the Republic would fall. None of us realized the magnitude of what we unleashed.
I've never gotten to see that one. That's a new thing for me.
I was part of the war effort, yes. I worked as a technician, though.
But you fought on the front lines. To a Mandalorian, there is honor in that.
I could do without your Mandalorian honor. I saw the results of your honor, the absolute destruction your warriors brought. And look at them now. Mandalorians are little better than mercenary thugs. And what's honor to someone like that? All they care about are credits.
If I were you, I'd pick your words more carefully.
This isn't the time or place for this.
No cause other than to spread suffering and pain to the people you conquered.
Maybe that's what it looked like to you, but that isn't why we fought. We fought for honor, glory, in the heat of battle.
You did nothing but murder innocents.
The Republic took us too lightly. We wanted to face the full force of their army. We had to goad them to fight.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you ask me, you Mandalorians just got what you deserved at Malachor.
Defeat is part of a warrior's life. We will recover, stronger than before.
Doesn't it even bother you that your people were almost destroyed? Or do lives have no meaning to you?
People die in war.
Well, I'm glad to have you guarding my back.
This conversation is over. I mean, I'm not shocked that they don't get along, because they're not going to get along. Alrighty.
Nice ship you have here.
We ended up with it.
So it's like that. I guess it would be better if... Now was there some...
Alright, never mind. So, I'm going to leave it here. We will continue later to do more work and most likely end up on Korriban because that is the next logical step in our continuation. So, I will see everyone very soon, hopefully later tonight, possibly tomorrow. And yeah. But I am going to go for now, so you all have the best day you can. Bye, y'all.